Hey guys, it's Saffron, co-host and producer of It's Giving Camp. By joining our Patreon now, you immediately get access to a backlog of 47 extended versions of episodes, the majority of which are video episodes. And we have 3 Patreon exclusive bonus episodes. We'll also include you in the credits of our upcoming episodes. We try to make our prices as reasonable as possible. Again, this is for only $2 a month. For $5 a month, you get access to a monthly movie live stream. That's cheaper than most movie tickets, and you get to join from the comfort of your own home. You can watch camp classics alongside Fabiola and I as we share our opinions and fun facts about the movies. Our highest tier is only $7 a month. And with that, you'll get personalized media recommendations. If you stay an early supporter, you will get early access to all upcoming episodes, extended versions of all of these upcoming episodes, as well as any new bonus content we make, and we're working on some episodes. If you are already a supporter of our show, even just listening to an episode really does help. We really appreciate all of your support. Like I've said before, I will keep doing this show as long as there are movies to discuss. I love talking to my best friend, and I really appreciate anyone who listens.
I still think about the fact that when we did our Spy Kids episode, I remember you talking about how much of your notes were about Alan Cumming just being a little guy, and I don't think that was actually when we were recording. I think that was a post
Oh,
after the fact, and I still think about that sometimes being like, sometimes there's great things that get
yeah.
said that aren't in the recording.
Yep. The she floop on my blank until I'm Alan coming, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, cheers. What a great moment. I still have Spy Kids on my letterbox top 4, and I don't know if it's ever gonna move. There
It
might be other films that come and go, but I think Spy Kids, it's just a staple. It can't not be in there.
Yeah, some things are such a like part of like I don't really know if I can remove Assassination Nation from my top 4 on Letterboxd because I'm like, no, but that's so even if it's like there's far better movies, I'm like that is such a important to me movie that I can't move it because having
That's
it
your
on
soul,
there,
bro.
I'm
That's your
like
soul.
that explains my taste and also because Fabiola and I saw that at such like a quintessential moment.
Oh, with
Uh,
me, my movies that are not leaving the top 4 are Jennifer's Body and Flesh and Blood.
which
Those
I
two are
just
straight there.
watched.
Flesh and Blood.
The
Yeah.
Verhoeven's fantasy medieval
Oh.
history.
Oh, I need to watch that.
Oh, it's watch it with a group of friends
Okay.
because it's wild. Which
Okay.
I
Okay.
I should have known because Verhoeven's like wild.
Hmm.
Um, but I can see why it's a Fabiola top 4. I mean, it's horny in a weird kind of way, which is kind of also a Verhoeven classic.
Yeah. I just told all my coworkers to watch Benedetta, so
Yes.
you know.
Yeah, it's in a similar wavelength
Okay.
as
Okay.
Benedetta.
When was Flesh and Blood made? Like what era?
85, I
I
think.
think it's
85. Ooh.
85. It
It was
was his
his,
first English language movie.
yeah.
I love that.
And it's got baby Jennifer Jason Leigh. Like
Queen.
she's
Awesome.
so like I'm like, "Oh my God, she seems so young."
Yeah.
And Rutger Hauer. I was like, "Oh, hey."
I'm not familiar.
He's the main thing I know him is Blade Runner. He's the main replicant Roy Beatty in Blade Runner.
Oh,
Where he slays
He's
best.
he's Tears in the Rain.
Yeah, he's Tears in the
oh,
Rain.
got you, got you,
Yeah.
got you, got you, got you.
Yeah. I had a little Blade Runner night with my friends like last month where I was like, okay, we're gonna watch original Blade Runner 2049. And
And
it was a
discuss.
lot it was a lot of me being because like some of my friends had seen Blade Runner, but they hadn't seen like both of them. I like for me, Blade Runner, I'm like, there's parts of it that I'm like, yeah, okay, this is very not ideal. But the Tears of the Rain scene, it's so classic that the whole film ends up being like, I'm just like, oh, this scene, and all my friends are sitting there going like, yep,
Yep.
okay. It's I don't know if you guys relate. It's very I feel like a lot of times where I watch stuff where I'm like, "Oh my God, the cinematography," and they're like, "We like hearing you say that, but we're also going to be making our little jokes and bits while watching this film."
That's not allowed in my screenings. No jokes allowed. Mm-mm. You sit there.
Serious?
You sit your
Dead
ass
silent?
down, quiet, unless I'm talking. I get to make the jokes. It's like when I made all my friends watch Amadeus, and they loved it.
Yay!
Amadeus is such a good movie to make jokes in.
That's true. That's true. I remember, wait, have you guys seen the latest season of Drag Race All Stars?
No.
Okay,
Yeah.
so there's in Drag Race All Stars, the latest season, there's Georges, who is like known for being like one of RuPaul's favorites. And then there's this new girl named Lydia who like just became one of RuPaul's favorites while Georges has been around for a little bit longer. And they really had like a Salieri Mozart thing going on, which I really loved. I think they could have done more of, but I enjoyed that.
Oh God. We gotta cover Drag Race on this podcast at some point, and I don't know how, because I'm like, how many
Yeah.
seasons are there
I
now?
think we need a guest to guide us.
Yeah.
Me, I can do it.
Next season.
Next
Bringing you
season,
back.
I'll be there. But so what have you guys been watching?
A lot. Let me think of what.
And this
a
weekend was the big Bad Bunny live stream,
Oh yes.
which I did watch. It was really fun.
So I remember you text me. He's like, he's doing. Where is he doing a residency? He's like,
He was doing it here for like 2 months. It amounted to a total of 31 shows, the last one
wow.
being the one that was live streamed on Saturday.
Okay, cool. Is it there a big like specific like concert venue in San Juan or what's...
Yeah. I need to send you like pictures and videos of it because it's so cool.
I saw the
Yeah.
clip.
He's now going on a world tour.
Right.
And today, my dad coming home from work said he saw a chunk of the mountain in the set design that was being like driven out in a truck out on the road.
Oh, that's cool.
I love that. That's so awesome. I saw the clip of him hurting his leg accidentally.
Oh
In the live stream, they zoomed in on his legs on that part. Like, he's okay for now.
Wow.
That's a really funny
Someone
one.
did fall at the casita.
Oh. Yeah, I really enjoyed his latest album, but I need to watch that live stream because I haven't seen it. Yeah, I personally have been watching the new season of Taskmaster, which when it started, I've been a fan of Taskmaster for about a year now. I've seen most of the seasons, and when like it started, my life just got like this new season. When it started, my life just got so much better because I get to look forward to a nice new episode of Taskmaster every Thursday on YouTube. It's so great.
It is really cool how much of the show is on YouTube.
All of it.
Yeah.
It's really great. I think the creators really fought for that, and it's like it made the show so accessible for anyone not in England or the UK, I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah.
And it like I think it works in their favor because it seems to be like really popular, and also like just a lot of people talk about it and will make like
Yeah.
references to it.
And you know how awesome it is to like recommend Taskmaster to someone and they'll be like, "Oh, where can I watch it?" And you can just say YouTube. It's freelicious on YouTube. Like, oh, it's like the ultimate, well, you have to watch it now.
Yeah.
You just click one button and you're there.
Yeah. Nice.
So yeah.
How
about you, Saffron?
The main TV shows that I've been watching a lot of speaking of Taskmaster, the main show I watch is Game Changer on on Dropout. Another kind of sometimes very puzzly, figuring things out kind of show. And they had a surprise secret finale, and it was an episode where the like CEO and of the company and also like the host of this Game Changer he had to be a contestant, and they completely surprised him. And I think it's clearly one of the most ambitious television episodes I've seen in terms of like reality TV and like kind of game show stuff, because it's so much attention to detail that they had, and they truly kept this entire production that it was in a castle. They had a whole like multiple puzzle rooms in a castle for him to work his way through. Like, months of planning and design and prop making, and they kept all of it secret. And it's
That's okay. I'll have to watch it. I saw some episodes from this season. Like, I love the wheel episode,
the wheel
but I
episode's
haven't
very
seen
fun.
a lot of them also.
Yeah, it's I think it's definitely an episode that like if you've seen all of Game Changer, it's more rewarding because they have a lot of the puzzles are around references to past episodes.
Yeah.
So it ends up being like, even though the conceit is kind of, they're like, "Oh, we're torturing you. We're putting you through like your own, we're forcing you to do what you've done to us." It also shows that they really like love and care about the show, because it's all an homage to past like Game Changer episodes. So it's very cool.
Can I say one thing about Game Changer?
Please do.
Okay, the episode where it ends with them getting Sam a therapist. Um, I enjoyed that episode until Sam said the words, "I consider myself to be a soft dom," and then I was like, I'm never watching this show again.
That's so fair.
I was like, Sam, I can't. Nothing against soft doms, but it just made me cringe so hard. I was just like, ooh, ooh, don't say that, don't say that, don't say those words.
Yeah, it's definitely also like, it's like, okay, this guy who kind of in some ways is portrayed like a little bit of like a father figure sometimes. They're like, it's like, okay, I don't want to hear this guy talk about his sex life.
Yeah, exactly. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
I just want to quickly
Yes,
say,
go.
Like on my end of TV, since we've been talking TV, we're halfway through Peacemaker, a bit more than halfway.
Oh, yes.
And this is such a stressful show. Like, for some reason, this season has me stressed out so bad. I wake up every Thursday scared.
You're trembling like a leaf.
It's a very fun show, but like, it's definitely because it gives me Coraline flashbacks.
Oh, interesting.
Like, I get reminded of like I am 9 years old and I walk out of the Coraline movie because I got too scared.
Oh. Well, they're like doing like alternate dimension stuff, right? Is that why it's Coraline vibes?
It's so stressful. Yes. And there's something off. There's something off and weird. I don't know. It's stressing me out, but it's so fun.
I like that though.
It
I
But
might have
also
to watch
kind of,
season 2.
yeah, it's so good. Speaking of so fun but stressful but still fun.
this movie. We've been talking for a while. I feel like also
Also, we need to
our lovely
Oh,
guest
oh,
reintroduce
oh, me?
the other voice on the pod today.
Oh, I forgot. I didn't think I needed an introduction. I've been here so many times. Will you introduce me?
Yes, welcome back again. Your third time guesting on the episode. Our lovely friend Amparo, please say hello.
Hi everyone. My name is Amparo. I went to school with these two, and when they started the podcast, they had me on an episode about Star Trek, which was really fun. Then we did an episode about Spy Kids, which was also really fun. And today it's gonna get even more fun because we're talking about one of my favorite movies of all time. Mujeres al borde de un ataque de nervios, Women on the Verge of a Nervous Breakdown by Almodóvar. This is one of my favorite
Saffron
movies.
is the only person.
I'm the only person who doesn't speak Spanish. Is that what you're gonna say?
You're the only person who speaks Spanish in the whole world. But yeah, this movie is on my Letterboxd top 4. It was like my introduction to Almodóvar, and since then I haven't seen his entire body of work, but I've seen a good amount of his films. I think he's one of my biggest stylistic influences in like my personal aesthetic and my writing style and what I want to convey in my films and how it is conveyed. So yeah, I'm so excited to talk about this movie.
We knew that if we were gonna do an Almodovar, we needed you to join us.
Yay!
And also, with this episode, we have finally successfully covered a film by every single director in the Father's Day post that Fabiola put on our Instagram before we even started releasing episodes.
That is so beautiful. What a full circle moment. I'm so happy to be part of it.
Yeah, we've been like quietly trying to complete that post.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
And last season we got complete. Almost all the way there with our Kenneth Anger, and now finally we've done it.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
So, okay, who is Pedro Almodóvar?
He's a very famous film director from Spain. You might, if you know about Marvel movies, you might know about that interview with Jake Gyllenhaal and Tom Holland, where Jake Gyllenhaal says that he would love Almodóvar to do a version of Spider-Man, and Tom Holland doesn't know who he is, and Jake Gyllenhaal looks like he wants to kill him.
Wait, I've not seen that. I need to look that up.
It's funny. Really uncomfortable. But I knew about him before that. My dad is a fan. So yeah, he's a very famous filmmaker. Started, I think, in the late 70s, early 80s, and is still producing films today. He's known for having a lot of queer themes in his films because he himself is a gay man. He's known to have a lot of roles, like the women in his film are just iconic. Like there's this very popular song in Spanish about just wanting to be an Almodóvar girl because they're so sexy and kind of dumb, but also really smart. And like they wear beautiful clothes.
Oh my God, the clothes.
Yeah. And he's also worked very closely in the past with Jean-Paul Gaultier. In some of his films has like a lot of fashion influences. He's known for his use of color. I think as time has gone by, he's gone from having these really like pop art-y, like kind of artificial looking films to having more films grounded in realism, as in Parallel Mothers and Pain and Glory. But you can still see his like sense of humor and attitude kind of run through all these films.
Yeah, but my personal favorite of his that I've seen is The Skin I Live In,
which
is very different
yeah,
from this
that's
Right.
one.
the
But
only one of his films before this that I had seen. But I mean, that is also, I do think it's a very good movie. And I'm glad that I kind of knew the reputation, like, of Almodovar in the sense of, like, being kind of extravagant and also, yeah, queer themes, like you said, and just, like, like, in melodrama. Like, you have kind of, like, there's an element of camp
Yes,
that
absolutely.
you like to keep in mind of The Skin I Live In, which is in as a premise is like incredibly dark and fucked up. But then when you actually watch the movie, you're kind of like, okay, there's a lot going on here that is more than just like the plot synopsis.
Yeah. If you guys ever want to watch another one, he has a film called Kika, which is kind of like I think maybe thematically the opposite of The Skin I Live In, where it seems like super lighthearted and like kind of has that very colorful, artificial feel. But then like you watch it and you're like, oh my God, what the hell is going on here? This is freaking me out.
I mean, it's kind of what it was like to watch The Skin I Live In.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, let's talk about I feel like we sometimes when we're talking about pieces of media, we'll like start to talk about some of the plot and discuss that, and then as we get further along in the episode, we'll spoil some stuff. But I feel like this is kind of one of those films that I kind of had a feeling about some of the stuff that gets revealed at the very end. I'm like, okay, I feel like you can kind of figure this out, but if we like discuss it, like we say up top, like here's the whole like summary of the plot, I feel like that kind of will lend itself better to discussion of the themes and such. This is a wild. A lot happens in this movie.
Yes.
What would you describe the plot of this movie?
So this movie is about this beautiful woman named Pepa, and um, she has just been left. She just got left by her man's, who's this older man named Ivan, and he's abandoned her. They've broken up because he doesn't love her anymore. And they are both voice actors, and they dub films and commercials into like Castilian, Spain, Spanish, and that's very important. Um, and yeah, from there it just kind of goes crazy. So Pepa is trying to track down this her man's who is going to come by her apartment to pick up his suitcase because he's going on a trip, and she finds this other number which is like connects her to his old wife, his ex-wife, and it just kind of keeps getting deeper and deeper as she learns more about this man. And then there's the B plot of her best friend Candela, who has accidentally slept and housed with terrorists and is worried that the police are out to get her for being an accomplice. And she is the funniest character in the whole movie. I'm obsessed with her. And then it gets all intertwined because Ivan's son ends up in Pepa's house with his fiance.
By pure coincidence.
By pure coincidence. There's only 3 people in Madrid. I don't know if you knew that. and Ivan's son, played by Antonio Banderas.
Yes.
He looks so baby.
He's so bad. He looks so good, bro. Everyone is like at peak sexy in this movie. So yeah, and then it just culminates in this like crazy car chase where they're all trying to get to Ivan in the airport because his ex-wife Lucia is trying to stop him, and Pepa is trying to stop Lucia, and there's police at the airport because their flight was going to be hijacked by the terrorists, and Candela told the police about it finally, or kind of. And yeah, so it kind of goes everywhere, but it's also something I love about the movie is that there's I call it the mundane elevated to high drama melodrama, and high drama de-escalated to the mundane. Like,
I love
there's
that.
points in this movie where people have like a gun pointed at them and they're like, what are you gonna do with that? Like,
Two
they
guns.
they
Two
DGAF.
guns.
What was that, Fabiola?
Oh,
Two
guns.
guns.
Two guns.
And it really is the most like that should be terrifying. And it's really just like, no, you have two guns on you. And
I mean, she's hilarious. Like, Lucia is she's crazy, but she's also like this little old woman stuck in the 60s.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I think the car
With two
chase at the
guns.
end with the two guns is like one of the best car chases ever because it's so anticlimactic. Like, they're not going that fast. Like,
they know where they're going.
They know where they're going.
They don't even need to chase him because they could just go to the airport because they know they're going to the airport.
They literally actually they do stop chasing them halfway through. They're like, Mambo Taxi's like, I'm done, guys. So yeah, that was my terrible plot summary of Women on the Verge of a Nervous Breakdown. It's a lot about Pepa's emotions.
Well, and the thing I was kind of implying is that throughout she kept like Peppa keeps being like, Yvonne, I need to talk to you about something important. I need to talk to you about something important. We need to meet up. And she also like goes and sees a doctor, and she like has a note from her doctor that she's like putting with the suitcases of his things. And what is Banderas' character's name?
Carlos.
Yeah, Carlos. He like sees that letter and then he's like, are you okay? Finally, at the end, it's revealed she's pregnant, which
yes,
you can kind of guess. Like, you can kind of figure it out. But...
Yeah, you know, because the doctor's like, you can't smoke and watch what you drink and da-da-da and da-da-da. And you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And the whole thing about how like she's always trying to put in her terrace, she has pairs of animals and she, like Noah's Ark, and she's always like putting them together to try and get them to like have babies. Yeah, I love the terrace as an environment because it's kind of like Noah's Ark plus the Garden of Eden mixed into one, where it's like you get like the pairs of animals, the childbirth, all of that, but you also have the desire that you get with Marisa, Rosy de Palma. Her character is knocked out and has her like big sex dream on the terrace, and where she stops being a virgin. And I feel like that really connects to like pre-dictatorship Spain, where it's like all about the family and having children, and post-dictatorship Spain, which is kind of like a sexual revolution, like women independent, being cool and awesome. Yeah, which can kind of be seen throughout the whole film, especially with Lucia representing old Spain stuck in the 60s, not doing very well mentally. And then characters like Pepa and Candela representing new Spain,
Yeah. Yeah. I was also going to say...
I also really liked that the terrace is also kind of like a sitcom set, especially with the backdrop.
Yes.
Like, they're very clearly on a set.
Exactly.
But still,
it's
like,
so
such
plastic.
A vibe.
Yeah. I'm looking through my notes and kind of starting to organize them a bit because I didn't have a moment to organize before we started recording, and I'm like, wow, there's so much artificiality in this movie, which, I mean, that's just I think I'm seeing that because that's a core aspect of camp that I often think about. But yeah, this like terrace, it looks like a soundstage, and you're so right, Fabiola, that's very sitcom, and it's very like, it's not just that it's kind of like a signifier of and like the style of the film. It's almost like the style of it kind of puts you in the emotional and like state, the mindset of watching kind of just a little relationship family drama all play out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, most of it is in Pepa's apartment.
Yeah.
So it literally does feel like an apartment in a sitcom, and also like how clearly set designed everything is. Like, everything is so bright and also goes so well together in this movie.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you guys know, but this movie it also got adapted into like a very successful play.
Yeah.
And it
Oh.
makes a lot of sense because a lot of it is like new character knocks at the door, here they come, they go through this room, they go through that room, like they're all in the main room together. It's like very yes and kind of movie where things develop through conversation,
Yeah.
aside from like Pepa's street like walking, you know.
Yeah.
um
Yeah, she keeps going out to like do little tasks and things and goes to talk to a new little person. I do love that every time she like goes outside, she has to like put on a new outfit.
well, of course. She has to be glam.
Yeah. She like changes just to like go and throw the guy's bags in the trash.
Yeah, I also love that Candela changes into like a slinky black dress for no reason.
Yeah. Well, that's what you do when you're having a nervous breakdown. You need to
Well,
put on a new outfit.
and she slicks her hair back.
Yeah.
She's so great. I think also the way this is such a minute detail, but Candela's like coffee pot
Yeah, I
earrings
was gonna
are
mention her earrings.
they're so
So
like
good.
on trend for like a couple years ago. You know what I mean?
Well, I was wondering if it's like, oh, are these just like kind of cool and decorative, or is it supposed to mean something? Because there's this whole kind of Chekhov's gun of the sleeping pill laced gazpacho, and I was like,
Yes.
okay, like coffee pot earrings, like they're gonna need some coffee to try to like wake everyone up from these sleeping pills.
Oh, that'd be cool. They Pempa does ask her to make coffee
Yeah.
at the start, but
And then
she doesn't.
yeah, well, because they're gonna make
Oh, she makes it for Marisa,
yeah,
who's
yeah.
asleep.
Yes. And then she sleeps through the whole movie.
Yep. So funny. I love Rosy de Palma. She's
So again,
such
the
a
gazpacho is like matching red with so much.
yeah, red being the color of desire, red being a representative of the Spanish flag, you know, La Furia Roja, with like just so much is red in this movie. The bed is on fire, literally like the
Yeah.
desire, the lust, the sexual liberation, all of that. And Candela being kind of like the ultimate symbol of this because Carlos literally can't stop making out with her.
Yeah. Well, and also Ivan is like he he just keeps sleeping with women, I guess. Like
Yes.
because he slept with this with is it Lucia?
Lucia.
Lucia like slept
Lucia.
with her, and then Peppa, and then oh this lawyer,
The feminist.
the hot feminist lawyer, who also then once again like she has a little you know, don't aren't you just like falling in love with men and you're being all heartbroken about men, except then she's also like having
Yeah.
a relationship with this guy, and
Yep. And everything she does is like against woman.
yeah.
Oh. Oh, so fun. When Pepa throws the record out the window and it hits her in the head.
Yeah.
Love
I
that.
thought it was gonna decapitate her.
That
In
would
a
have been a
different
twist.
in a different movie it
Yeah.
might have, but this is more just like a nuisance. I
Things
do
are consistently thrown out in this.
yeah, like Peppa's only like the only thing that she knows how to do to like I mean she's got all this emotion bottled up, and I do love like in a way it feels very like it's exaggerated, but there is something to like you're just so heartbroken and upset and you don't know what to do, and she just keeps ripping her telephone out. Like it's she rips out the telephone, smashes it, throws it through a window, and then like picks it up and goes, "Oh no, I shouldn't have done that," and tries to repair it. And then later, once again, she like rips out the telephone and tosses the
Answering machine.
the answering machine.
Yeah.
It's like, what's that machine called?
That old ass thing.
Yeah.
I think to the phone, so much of this, like Ivan, his voice is so powerful, and that's how he has his control over people. Like Lucia says that she was in the asylum, and you know, she didn't remember anything until she heard Ivan's voice, and then she pretended she was okay so she could leave, but she was still crazy. Which is a common theme in Almodóvar movies. Like that happens in Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down, and I think also in Talk to Her. There's something about that. There's a lot of like he pretended he was normal so he could leave the asylum. Which is very campy, I think.
Yeah. Well, it's very like, okay, so what even there isn't like it's so like I am someone who am very much like, okay, how is mental illness, how are things being portrayed in movies? But it's just they're just crazy. Like
Yeah.
it's such a kind of a caricature in a way where you're like, I don't know. It's so much more than like there's various movies where it's like I'm gonna try to depict something and it just does it so wrong. Where it's like if you're just kind of have someone who is it's a woman who's affected by like a relationship. Like it's almost much more like feels closer to like hysteria, which is just like they're overwhelmed with emotions and you don't really need to be clinical about it. You can just kind of be like this is someone who's just like crazy.
Yeah, something about just the phrase "I pretended to be normal to get let out of the asylum."
Well,
Sure.
her eyeliner is I'm like
Lashes.
Her eyeliner is her eyelashes.
Yeah. And at the beginning there's like when she's introduced, she's like, "Oh, don't bother me, son. I'm drawing on I'm doing my eyeliner right now. It needs to be perfect." And then I'm like, "Okay, and that's what you went with? Okay, that's
The wigs, the giant triangle hat, bro. Yeah, I think the film, like a lot of times, especially with Almodóvar films, and I've like had this struggle myself, is like, how is he depicting women? Like, is this feminist? Is this not feminist? Which I think the answer is it's isn't, and it's a third thing.
Yeah.
That it's like it's very aware that the women on the verge of a nervous breakdown, they're hysterical, but there's this like layer of artificiality and like self-awareness to it. Like I have a bunch of Candela quotes. Like there's once where she says, "I realized it too late, but if I had realized it earlier, then I would have known." Like something like you know. It's like they're self-aware, and the way that the actresses are delivering each line, like some lines are delivered very dramatically and some are just the comedic delivery of some of the lines, especially Candela's, are like so like it's so wink wink nudge nudge, which I love. And it's like the artificiality of like the melodramatic telenovela style of like the crazy woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's very clearly like there is a humanity to these characters, but it's also very clearly drawing from the telenovela tradition, being very knowing about it.
Yes. Especially because then like Pepa is like known for being the mother of the assassin in I'm assuming either a police serial or a telenovela, and you see the ad that she does based on this role.
Yeah.
Which was so funny. It was like Eche Homo.
Yeah,
parece mentira. It feels like a lie.
The blood, the shirt covered in blood gets completely clean, and then the detectives who come to the door, well,
what could it be? It's so good, guys. It's just so good. Oh, and also I want to say that at the start of the film, where we see Ivan dubbing a film and then Pepa comes in later to finish her side of the dub, they're dubbing this film called Johnny Guitar, which Joan Crawford acts in. And Joan Crawford herself was very much a queer camp icon. So, and also perhaps a woman on the verge of a nervous breakdown.
I I'm so glad that you looked up or knew which movie that was, because I was
I
like,
looked it up, yeah.
that's Joan Crawford.
Yep.
I was like, that's
Yeah.
Also, it being Johnny Guitar is also really fun because one of the things that I do remember from that movie is her bright yellow t-shirt and a bright red bow.
right.
And it's supposed to be Western.
love that. I haven't seen Johnny Guitar, so I wouldn't know, but
That
I like
was
that very.
that was one of the films that was in the American cinema history course, I think.
Which I never took.
Yeah. That was a course where I know for a fact I fell asleep multiple times in that class because it was in whatever that room that was in like the big like lecture hall theater.
It's the room that makes you fall asleep.
Like the lights are super dim because it's like more of a theater than like a lecture hall, and you just it was the one that was in the same building as the art museum, and you like go down anyway.
Oh yeah, the
I-
Hillier basement.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's right. It was
Instead
Hilliard.
of the beach that makes you old, it's the room that makes you sleep.
Yeah.
Honestly, every room is the room that makes me sleep. But yeah, and also there's like a little. This is the first time I caught it, but every time I've seen this movie, I didn't realize that the commercial that Pepa dubs at the beginning, the bride is Candela. Yeah, the
Oh.
condom commercial.
Oh wait, that's what it's a commercial for? I did
Yeah,
not.
like the priest slips her like the priest is like, wait, I think I even quoted it. The condom commercial. Don't trust. The priest is like, don't trust men, and Candela, the bride, is like, even my husband. And then the priest like slips her a condom over her like bouquet of flowers.
Okay. I was like, what is this? What's going on here?
Yeah.
I was more focused on the fact that it felt, at least the beginning part, it felt very much like, ooh, this is kind of one of those films that's a love letter to filmmaking in a
Yes.
way. Just because we're seeing all of the details, we're watching the film reel wind to like cue up to be playing the recordings that she's dubbing over. And I think it's really I love when characters who are dealing with relationships and thinking about love and marriage and such are forced to interact with media about love and marriage and such. Like I just think it's
Mhm.
very interesting to, I mean, I think a lot about yeah, like how the media that we engage with shapes our worldview. And so it's
Mhm.
very fun, I think, to see that kind of in a meta way depicted in this movie, to have like the fact that Peppa has to be dubbing lines about like I love you, and I was it like how many men have you forgotten, how many women have you remembered, and it's just like, I would say that you die if I left, I'll die if you left, and she has to say that while she is going through like a breakup. I don't, it's just like fun. I think it's a fun, juicy way to amp up the drama.
Yeah, Almodóvar loves to do that. He in Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down. I mean, she's like a B movie slash porno star
Mm.
that acts, and then in All About My Mother, they're like the mother and the son are obsessed with old movies. So yeah, you that's like a very common theme that I feel like a lot of filmmakers are like, we're making this movie about movies because I love movies.
Yeah. I feel like we got to talk at some point just about like we've talked about some of the visuals of this movie, but I watched the Criterion Collection version, and it's just so, the colors look so good.
They really do. I'm not sure what this was filmed on, but and like what the color grading process was, but it was incredible.
How like clearly coded. Like there's a specific, and like even though there's like random other colors. It's very consistently red and green and orange. And those are the main colors.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And just
And also how Antonio Banderas is like, we're really wearing any bright color in this, but all the women are.
yeah, they really especially the color red, the way that pops out of the screen is just so beautiful.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean the
All the
green
polka
is
dots.
polka dots. I love just how vibrant all of the plants are on the terrace. I mean, when you were saying like it's kind of giving, Garden of Eden. I'm like, yeah, that is true where it's very it's not just in like, oh, she's kind of has this little garden. It's like the the way it looks is so there's just so many plants and they're all like the brightest of greens.
Yeah, it's so lush. And it's a movie that is very red and very green, but it doesn't give Christmas, which is hard.
True.
Let me say
Yeah.
that. It is
Yeah.
hard to have red and green and not give Christmas. Yeah, and the film taking place in Madrid, Almodóvar is a big Madrid guy, big Madrid filmmaker, but also like it being the center of like where Franco was the dictator, and that just connecting back to my favorite thing to think about when watching this movie. And you see kind of like the combination of technologies because at one point Peppa goes down and like there's kids playing with a stick and a hoop,
Oh,
and then and then at another point she's like in front of like a little like arcade game machine that's
yeah.
like basketball, and another point there's like people roller skating down the street, so you see kind of like this old tech, new tech kind of coming together, as you can see like Lucia, Pepa at odds with each other.
Yeah, well, okay, here's my question. Do you think is there a representation of what generation is the lawyer, the feminist lawyer kind of supposed to be? Is she also at odds and kind of in a different coming from a different context than Peppa?
I think, well, so Lucia's the oldest. Then there's, and Ivan is from that generation as well. Lucia and Ivan are from that same generation. Then there's Pepa, who's a bit older, but she's like happy to be in this like era,
Mm-hmm.
this kind of sexual revolution. And then I do think that the lawyer is kind of in between Pepa and Candela in terms of age. So yeah, she's like happy to have this affair with a man who was with another woman, and like she got with him when he first when she tried to sue him, you
Yeah.
know.
Oh, that's right. That's such another layer of the like the twisting connections all of these characters have
Hmm.
is that it's like, okay, we're gonna go to see this lawyer because we're worried about the involvement with the terrorists, and then it's
Hmm.
like, okay, who is this woman? Oh, um she helped my mom when she was trying to sue
Yup.
Yvonne, and then it's like turns out she's the third woman because they keep going back and forth like he's leaving with you, no, he's leaving with you, and then you're
Hmm.
like, is there a third woman? And then it is that's the lawyer.
And they're going to Stockholm, which is the flight that the terrorists were going to hijack.
Yeah, because there's only a couple people in Madrid, there's only one flight that's leaving that evening.
Hey, if it works, it works. And like I love films that are just like one coincidence after another, and like it's just stringing you along for the ride, and you're like, is this realistic? No, I'm having a great time though. And like the artificiality of the movie, like the
Yeah, and again,
colors.
like a lot of we say here, and I like sometimes feel like a broken record, but like that's what camp
Mhm.
is. Like it's about being along for the ride, among many other things.
Yeah, yeah. And the film kind of, it knows that you know that it knows,
Yeah.
and that's camp.
Well, the Mambo Taxi,
Mambo
the
Taxi.
he the very first
Yeah.
time she gets into the taxi, she's like, "Follow that cab!" And he's like, "I thought that only happened in movies."
Uh-huh.
And then, of course, he proceeds to be the only taxi that she ever calls. And in the final car chase, he's like, "Oh, who are we following again?" And she's like, "Or who are we following today?" And she's like, "Go after them." And he's like, "Oh, okay, we are following someone."
Yeah. So, and
Also,
the
the
eye
Mamba
drops.
taxi itself,
I wish I lived in the Mambo taxi.
like everything.
I wish I was Mambo taxi.
The
I
leopard
wish.
seats, and it also being kind of a convenience store
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, I love the little sign that it has in the front that says "Gracias por fumar." Thank you for smoking.
I was paying attention to like there's little charms, or I don't know if they're
Yeah.
lights, where it's like a bunch of different like alcohol bottles or something that is like along the dashboard.
Yeah, I think the rocker girl in the end, she like takes one of the like little nips bottles and is like drinking from it. The eye drops, the tissues.
Yeah.
Do you like mambo? It's just that mambo goes the best with this kind of decoration.
Yeah. Yeah,
Uh,
I do love also that it's very like even though there's all of these coincidences building up, there's also cause and effect in a way that like it it's just very like, oh, this is it's a story that is structured so that these things are gonna happen, and then it's gonna, it's gonna like the fact there's like, oh, this she makes this gazpacho and she then like pours all these sleeping pills in it, and then that's just sitting in the fridge until like, oh, we're gonna serve it to the police officers to try to knock them out so they stop questioning us. And then it gets thrown in her eyes.
mhm.
And earlier, when she was taking the taxi and she was like, "Oh, do you have eye drops?" And he's like, "No, I don't have eye drops." So then once she gets in the taxi, there's eye drops because
He remembered.
he remembered, he took her advice, and she needs them now because the gazpacho that got set up earlier got thrown into her on her face and it's in her eyes.
It's just the best. I wonder if it was like I think Almodóvar wrote this.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure he did.
Yeah.
If where he started.
Oh.
Like I know that a lot of writers will start with their end conflict and then work backwards kind of. I wonder if he did that for this or just started and hopped around. Would be interesting to know.
I do think that it feels like the kind of story where it was written in order, but probably not. I think that's probably just a fact that it's a well-written story in that sense.
Right.
Yeah.
I just love this
It's
movie, guys.
wildly tight for something that's incredibly chaotic and all over the place.
It goes by so fast.
Yeah.
Nothing is wasted in that movie.
Yeah. I just remembered the like what I don't know what role she has, that like the woman who's the Jehovah's Witness.
Jehovah's Witness.
Who's like mans the front door of the apartment or something.
Yeah. Yeah, what my note about her was like they got every kind of woman in this movie. Oh, I love her. I love her voice. I love her accent. I love her. Like she just has a handful of lines and she's just so memorable, which I feel like is a lot of characters in this movie. I think I'm not completely certain. This is something my dad, another Almodóvar fan, told me, but Almodóvar was putting his grandma in a lot of movies, like as a little cameo, and she's the one like whenever he was advertising his movies, his grandma would always do like the publicity for his movies. And I think in the news section where like there's like this old lady reading off the news telling you about the terrorists, that's his grandma. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, cool.
But I might be completely wrong.
Time to look up IMDb.
I do love the idea of Almodóvar telling his grandma, Yul is telling about the terrorists.
Yes, I love it. And like she doesn't even deliver the lines that great. She's just clearly reading off a paper. let me see. And that it just connects to like people being just so nonchalant about everything in this film. They're like, oh yeah, terrorists. Oh yeah, I slept with them. Like Candela is freaking out, but like not about the fact that
They're
she's
nonchalant about things that are very serious, but
yes,
they're very dramatic and serious about things that in the grand scheme of things aren't that serious.
exactly. Which I love.
Do you feel like there's a lot of camp and just Spanish language and like the way I gotta know there's something about Spanish and like Spanish humor that I feel like is really camp for some reason. Like
Yeah.
there's something about it that just doesn't translate in English.
I 100% agree with you. It's just the way that it's so hard to put a finger on what it is exactly. It's just like very
Yeah.
unique. Like it's all in the line deliveries where like you see the line translated in English and it's just like a matter of fact, like not really funny line, but just the way the character says it and like their accent, their tone of voice, their delivery, it just is the funniest thing in the world. I wrote down so many Candela quotes in my notes because she's my favorite character in this movie. And she says at one point, don't no me digas pesada, que estoy muy sensible. And that's don't call me annoying. I'm very sensitive right now. And the way she says it is so funny. Because I think there's like she's like she doesn't speak as posh as some of the other characters, especially like Marisa, and the way she like drops like consonant sounds is very and the slang that she uses is very like funny. She's just funny.
Yeah, I'm also thinking about the moment where Candela is gonna like jump off the edge of the terrace and just there's something like so funny in camp about the way everyone well like not everyone because they're pointing out to other people, but the way that they're like se tira, mira se tira.
Se ha tirado.
Is that when they're like, she's gonna jump?
She jumped.
Yeah. See, it's not the same in English. It's
No.
not.
I do feel like this is, I think, one of those movies where I'm like, I'm enjoying this, and there's just parts that I won't get because of the translation. And, but I like, you know what this is? This is our first non-English film that we've done non-English films, but it's been a non-English film that you guys can understand the language that it's in. I feel like there's been other films that we've done where it's like, okay, there's like been French or Russian, Japanese, where it's like, okay, we're probably going to be missing some stuff because this is not a language we speak. But in this case, I am missing stuff because it's a language I don't speak. But you guys do get it, and it's that's kind of a cool thing. I think that sometimes I do think it's kind of I don't know, language is cool, and sometimes you're like I accept that I'm like I probably won't get that in the same way.
Yeah, I do think that this film, like, even it's one of the ones where it's going to be good no matter what. There's a couple things that might like get lost in translation, especially with the comedy. But yeah, oh, I was gonna say that I own this film on DVD. I don't have a DVD player right now, so I had to look for it online. And the only place I found it was on like an educational website for French Spanish learners. So the captions were in French when I watched it this time.
Do you speak French at all?
I can kind of read it a little, like I can context clues, but I was just like, okay, whatever.
I'll
That
say
works.
I took Spanish in middle school and high school. I could probably understand a tenth of the words. There are words that I can pick up, but I also will say I had quite a variety of teachers, and I had I had a couple teachers from Spain, I had a teacher from Colombia. I also had a Spanish teacher who was that classic like white Midwestern Spanish teacher. But the most of the people, like when I worked at the hotel and stuff, like the Spanish that I heard around me was there was a lot of like Mexican immigrants. So I do sometimes I'm like, okay, I probably could have read a word and been like, I know that word, but if I heard it in this specific accent and dialect, I would have been like, wait, I don't get that. I don't know what's being said.
And they talk fast. They talk fast in this movie. Every line is delivered so quickly, except for Ivan. And that's like the power that he has because he's like this like this deep tenor, like romantic voice. That I think once like Pepa is so under his spell when she's hearing his voice over the phone, hearing his voice dubbed. That's what got Lucy out of the hospital. But once she actually is face to face with Ivan, she's like, I'm done.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't have that power over her anymore because she sees him and she sees that he's not worth it.
Yeah.
It also reminded me of, like, I don't think this trope existed back in 1988, but the whole, like, rom-com meeting at the end at the airport to like, get someone back, and how this film has a complete reversal of that, where they break up at the airport.
Yeah, that's so true.
Speaking about like the power of the voice and how also that's represented in this, there's a sequence right at the beginning before you quite understand that Ivan's like a voice actor and does this dubbing work. There's that black and white sequence where he's walking along and he's like, there's all of these different women who are like dressed in kind of like stereotypical like outfit of different countries and stuff, and he's like saying like kind of these flirty phrases to each of them. And as soon as like I was like, oh, he's like he does a lot of like voiceover work dubbing for commercials and movies and stuff. It felt like a really, really cool sequence to like visualize a that like he'll like he says the words for the right for all these different kind of like cultural settings, but also that he's like yeah, it's about his voice, it's about the fact that he's like he's so charming and suave
and he's a player.
Yeah,
the voice works regardless of who you are and regardless of where you're from.
Yep. And then you have his son who has a stutter.
Oh yeah, I hadn't put that
I was just thinking about that. I hadn't thought about that until now. And he's the one that fixes the phone.
Yeah,
the first time at least.
Yes. Oh my god, I do. It's kind of hilarious how they absolutely are like gaslighting the hell out of Lucia of being. She was like, I called 20 minutes ago, and they're like, no, it's been broken all day.
The phone's just so broken, girl.
What are you talking about? And then of course that they have like all of the people show up at the apartment at the same time, like the police and the phone repair guy. And
that's another line that was really funny in Spanish, but I think in English it's just that line played straight, but it's the police officer saying, oh yeah, we found her in the elevator. Talking about Lucia. I don't know why that line cracked me up, but it did.
I think what cracked me up the most, it's the physical comedy, it's the situation, the line, whatever, of when your favorite character, the one with the black dress, Candela, she's sobbing. She's so distressed because the police have showed up. And they're like, why are you crying? What's going on? And they're like, the dress she's wearing, it's so ugly.
Yes. Love that.
It's that to me, I was like, okay, that's what this movie is about. It's about just women being messes and kind of like attacking each other because of their emotional distress. And it's about fashion. It's about like what is people wearing, and we're using that to
Yeah. Candela, use your manners with the policeman. I love how they're like, oh, we were just here playing Stratego.
yeah, they're like, let's take out the game. Don't read the rules that loud. Just like act, and also they're like, okay, act normal, and she's just gulping down the gazpacho that she knows is like drugged too.
Yeah. I really love how kind of like Candela and Carlos both end up drinking the gazpacho, even though they know it's going to knock them out.
Yeah.
And they just kind of very like relax into each other very
Yeah.
peacefully. I like that like kind of everyone goes to sleep moment
Yeah.
in the film. It's very, yeah, it's like, yeah.
It's also
the moment everyone's asleep is when Marisa wakes up.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the whole house is a mess.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, well, the plot isn't resolved in the sense of like what's gonna happen when everyone wakes up. Like, there's still gonna be a mess to figure out, but like, it makes sense that that's the place to end because for Peppa, it's like, okay, now she's at peace and now she's kind of calmed and found her center again. Like, that's where the movie needs to wrap up for her because she's like, okay, I figured it out. I know what I'm gonna do next.
Yeah, she's keeping the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, keeping a house, having the baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
Also, to talk about like whether it's feminist or not, like it's actually like okay, yeah, like someone might argue like, "Oh, and the woman is gets pregnant and she's going to be the mother." But it's like so she's going to be a single mom. Like she's having the kid without the dad in the picture and it's her decision. And that way it's and it's not that's also not the point of the story really. It's not the point of her arc. That to me does feel like a very like naturally feminist theme.
Yeah, feminist, non-normative at least.
Yeah, I also feel like not every work has to be feminist. Like it can just exist and like it can just happen to be about women.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think that's what I was trying to get at, I guess, when I said like naturally feminist, where it's like it's not trying to make a point, it's just telling a story about women. And in that way it actually to me, I think it makes more of a point than if if a story was trying to be like, and this is my message and this is my moral, because it's not forced upon you. It's not something that, it's just something that, if you're watching media, you get, like when I was talking earlier about how representations of love and relationships kind of will influence you. If this is just a story that you're engaging with, it becomes part of your understanding of the world that that like women are people, I guess.
Yeah. I feel like his films are like you can take whatever you get from them in a way that a lot of filmmakers are like that, but I think his are very special in a way. Like in Talk to Her, I watched that movie and I was like, oh yeah, this movie is about how gay men feel ownership over the bodies of the women that they glamorize. And I was like, oh, this is such a good point of the film and like oh, wow, and it's so deep. And then like I rated it, went to Letterbox, and everyone was arguing about something else that I had not gotten from that movie at all. I was like, oh, okay, sure.
Many,
I guess you guys are right too.
many
But
such
I like
cases.
my meaning.
I honestly kind of some of my favorite movies when I'm like, wait, no one else thought about this? Just me? Oh, okay. Well, I feel like I made some points here. I guess other people are making some points, but
Yeah. I that reminds me of the time that you guys had seen Titan and I had seen Titan, and we were just like walking somewhere and I was like, "Oh yeah, I love the transgender allegory of that film." And you guys were like, "What?"
oh, I should tell you. Now anytime I talk about Titan, I'll just be like, "Oh yeah, and I had a friend and like we were talking like, and they made me think about like the like trans mask angle of Titan, and so I'm going to be watching that with friends next weekend, or this coming weekend, in a couple of days. I'm doing a double feature with Crash and Titan, uh which is
Sexy.
I've called it Fucking in Cars, the double feature. Because I should
Car
say, obviously, it's
sex.
Cronenberg's Crash, the only version of Crash that
Yes.
I would ever consider. But
Yeah.
I,
Can you
I,
imagine if it was the 2006 Crash and then Titan?
isn't that what Crash about, like addiction or something? But like in a,
It's about like racial violence, I think.
oh God.
Yeah,
And it's not
it's
handled
about
well.
solving racism.
Yeah.
No.
Yep.
That would be such a weird double feature.
The wrong Crash and Titan. That's so funny. Oh. Titan is such a great film to watch with friends, though. You guys can all hold each other and shake.
Yeah. Well,
um, yeah.
I do think Women on the Verge of a Nervous Breakdown is also a very good like watch, or in our case discuss with friends movie. It's
Yeah.
like you could just be like, yeah, I've been there. That when she's staring at her burning bed crying like, yeah, I've been there, girl.
Yeah. It's a crazy thing. Did you guys catch that like little rear window reference
The
in the
way she
middle?
just stands there for a while.
What's
So
she gonna do?
wait, what Rear Window reference?
So there's one point where Candela, no, not Candela, where Peppa is waiting on a bench to like see what I think it's she's looking up at Lucia's apartment.
Oh, and then
And
there's
then there's a
the
shot of her looking through a window, and there's like a woman dancing in her underwear. And then she looks to another window, and there's like a man crying out on the balcony. And yeah,
oh, so it's she's having her own little like
Yeah.
voyeurism
mhm.
moment.
Yep, she's looking. Yeah, I thought that was cute. I like it.
I mean, that another case for this movie being
Yeah.
a film
At
about loving
at the
filmmaking.
top of
Yep.
yeah, I was gonna say, I'm not sure if it's before or after you started recording, but you meant about wanting to discuss this film as a melodrama, like as the melodrama of the season,
Yeah.
and what it would mean. Women on the Verge of Nervous as melodrama and like the relationship to camp.
Well,
Yeah.
what I was thinking of was like, okay, from my understanding, and please correct me if I'm wrong, Fabiola. I feel like you know more about this genre than I do. My understanding of melodrama is like the kind of focus of the plot. The conflicts arise from the relationships between the characters, and like the very like having very intense emotions kind of arise out of that conflict. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, and I feel like it's also particularly family relationships.
Yeah. So in the case
Because
of
like it's
like,
not just like friendships.
yeah. So like to me, I feel like to have this film be a very like an example of melodrama, an example of how melodrama is camp, is that the thing that we've talked about, how there's just coincidence after coincidence. The fact that it's all like everything compounds upon itself, to like the characters are all intertwined, and the whole all of the conflict and all of the emotions are about their relationships with each other. Like, yeah, it's you know, the fact that Peppa's ex-lover's son shows up on her doorstep because he's looking to sublet the apartment that she used to share with his dad, and then it's about like, and then the fact that his mom's lawyer is the third woman, like the fact that it's all, it's kind of, yeah, it's so like, it's kind of so extreme it's not believable, but that's not the point. Like you're just along for the ride, as we've talked about, because you're invested in these characters and their well-being, because it's we get to know enough about them, and the actors
It's like
are
about the history
yeah,
between them.
yeah,
Like as it gets revealed.
yeah.
I have
And
a quote from Lucia at the end where when the police grab her, she says, "Take me to the clinic. It's where I live." It's so like melodramatic, but also it's like so cunty. There's so many, yeah. It's taking a very simple like soap opera storyline, like
yeah,
this other woman. There's another woman on top of the other woman, and there's a missing son, and she's escaped from the asylum. Da, da, da. You could find that in any soap opera, but this takes that and it elevates it to high comedy, high drama, high cinema through its like self-awareness, its beautiful cinematography, and its incredible comedic acting and dramatic acting from this very talented cast.
yeah. Oh, it's the cast that makes this
It's just
film.
like the appreciation of like this maligned genre that is like soap opera, melodrama, telenovela.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not always taken seriously, I think probably because of, well, if Shebnam was here, she would talk about the misogynistic undertones of diminishing a genre that is often, the main audience is women, or at least perceived to be women. But I think, like I think it's fun when a genre that is kind of usually more associated with television, with serialized and also like lower budget productions, to be like, no, we're gonna actually take that genre and bring it to the art house context.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just played so perfectly because it's not played straight, but it's not played like ironic, like we know it's bad. It's somewhere in between, and that's
Yeah.
what makes the film. That's where the film lies, I think.
Yeah.
Like that acknowledgement, which is very like self-aware camp.
Well, and I think that, yeah, I mean
Yeah.
that just is camp.
Mhm.
I'll always remember the fact when we were doing our episode on Center Jenny in season 2 with the guest Nicole, and I was like talking about these characters, if you can call it. They're like, so the Center Jenny is so weird, but like I was like, it's not parody. Like it feels like it's kind of playing with a trope, but it's not like making fun of it. I was like, what would you call that? And I just remember Nicole goes, they're camping. And I was like, oh, yeah, no, that's it. Like, sometimes we struggle to find, like,
Yeah,
what exactly
just
is it? And then it's,
just
it's,
doing everything at the same time.
yeah.
That's camp, babe. I love it.
Like with appreciation and joy and meaning in it.
Yeah. Well, I feel like we're kind of wrapping up. Is there any like
Yeah.
last things we feel like we want to talk about? Little like either images, jokes, favorite costume moments?
Just the image that sticks out to me so much from this movie is when Lucia gets the two guns. And just the image of her in like the 60s pink dress and the huge hair, just holding the two guns, and then when she's on the motorcycle, just shooting at the Mambo taxi.
And her hair is like kind of being blown back by the wind, but there's probably so much hairspray in it too. It just like is
It's like
just...
this big by the end. It's so good. Speaking to like the super melodramatic lines, there's one that Pepa says where she says, "I'm sick of being good." And oh, there's just so many incredible lines in this. When Lucia is speaking to her parents, Carlos's grandparents, she says that she's dressing the way she is so she can pretend that time hasn't passed. And then her mother says, "But time has passed," which again goes back to that like sick, like wanting to remain in the 60s, remain in the past of dictatorship times versus the present like sexual revolution, post-dictatorship, New Spain, and how like that old Spain is very sick and needs to kind of, that's my what I have to say. Oh, Pepa's nails. They're so red and luscious. A lot of the characters, I think Marisa also has red nails painted.
Yeah.
But they really are striking.
The old Spain pretended to be normal to get out of the asylum.
Literally.
I realized we haven't mentioned the very opening, the opening title sequence, opening credits.
Yeah.
Really iconic.
The beautiful collage work.
Oh gosh. And it looks like all these different kind of like images from like fashion magazines, and it was just that is very just, signifiers of camp as well. But I also love that after that opening credits, the opening shot is of like a model of the apartment building. It's not the actual apartment building. It's a model.
Yeah.
It feels
that's great.
Very much like playing, it's like a little dollhouse.
Yeah, the guy with the model has like this little retro Captain America figure.
Yeah, we're just watching a little like make-believe story play out in front of us, that's on a little set, and it's just, it could just be, little dolls that are being played with to tell the story.
Basically, yeah. His Almodóvar women. Yeah. I just want to give a shout out to Rosy de Palma for having the best face in the business. She's so striking.
Yeah.
She's so like there's never been a face like hers. And she's
this her first film?
She's
literally in this to serve face. All she did was sleep, serve
sleep
face.
and have an orgasm in her dream.
Yes.
I think she did mostly model. She was in, I don't remember if Kika came before or after this, but she was in that as well. She plays like a lesbian prison warden, I think.
Oh, wow.
If I recall correctly. And she's done a ton of modeling work.
Yeah.
I remember there was this movie that came out in 2019 that was not an Almodóvar film, it was a Spanish film. And Rosy de Palma was cast in it. And it's one of the first times that I've seen a cisgender woman play a transgender woman.
Oh, interesting.
Strange film, not very good. But I was like, what are they doing here? What are they trying to say? But yeah. Any final thoughts?
Everyone should watch more Almodóvar. I just feel like he's the guy to watch.
Yeah.
His star is really on the rise.
I really need to revisit Time Me Up, Time Me Down, because I watched it like almost 10 years ago and only like remember bits and pieces of it.
It's
you watched
crazy.
it in high school?
Yeah, I think over the summer. Like before college, but also like maybe like even before senior year of high school. I don't know. Long time ago.
No, it's a great one. I was on the edge of my seat for that one. Oh, Rosy de Palma's in that one too. She plays like the drug dealer on a scooter.
Oh.
And she has a posse of gay men with baseball bats who beat people up for her.
Oh my god. Iconic.
It's awesome. Yeah. That movie's also crazy. Moral of the story, all his movies are crazy. But in like a very normal way.
Yeah.
And that's camp, baby.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Amparo, so much for being here. Do you have anything to plug? Do you have like a blog? I don't know. What do you've got going on?
So I have you can follow me. I have an art Instagram. I think it's Polar Oranged. I haven't posted in a bit, but it's like where I want all my kind of more artistic work to go. I have a Twitter under Polar Orange or Polar Orange Dry, where I mostly post about soccer and also Argentinian politics. So if you're not into either of those things, don't follow me there. And then yeah, I'm thinking about starting a Substack like every single other boring person in New York. So keep an eye out for that.
I have a Substack that I posted on the only when I made it. I never posted again.
Why not? So yeah, that's what I have to plug. Follow me on Letterboxd. I think Polar Orange Dry. Everything I have is a variant of Polar Orange or Polar Orange Dry. So
yeah, we'll put the links in the description.
Awesome. All right, it was such a pleasure to discuss this movie with you guys. I hope my enthusiasm was evident.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Thank you to our patrons:
Ike Everard, Dominic Overman, Dominic O, Joshua, Marcus Gorman, Arcadia Reeves, Jose Liano, and Pericles Caspari. This episode was edited by Fabiola Liaño. Our theme music is by Harrison Lurie. I've been Saffron Hefta-Gaub. You can find me everywhere at Gaub Hefta.
I've been Fabiola Liaño. You can find me on Instagram at Fabiola the Gremlin and on Twitter at Fabiola_Liaño. The podcast, It's Giving Camp, on Instagram at It's Giving Camp Pod and on Twitter at Giving Camp Pod.
It really helps us out if you're able to give us a rating or review.
Be sure to support our Patreon.